Joining me here at the beautiful Frankston Arts Centre, I've got John and Louise. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Tell me, what are your roles here?
We're both front of house supervisors, so we look after the front of house, so all the patron issues. So when someone arrives at the theatre, through to going into the theatre, looking after all their needs, making sure they're comfortable, finding their seat and looking out for them, and liaising with the back of house team to make sure that the show runs to time and things, and the hospitality team, looking after them who look after the bar. So we sort of coordinate all of those things.
So you're a well-oiled operation because you've got to keep things moving. How do you balance sort of getting people in, getting them comfortable with that warmth and that beautiful hospitality?
We're really lucky because our front of house team stems from us being front of house supervisors, our head ushers and our ushers. So we have quite a significant team to manage that. Mm-hmm. And the energy comes basically from us as front of house supervisors and projects into that team. And managing people from anywhere from maybe 100 people to 800 people becomes effortless because the team is very motivated, and also you have all stakeholders, internal, external, exceptionally communication-wise exceptional. So we're really lucky.
That must take a lot of work, on a practical level, right? So if you can sort of take us behind the curtain a little bit there. So you've got a show on. Are you sitting down and going, right, you're working backwards in terms of timings, who's in charge of what? How much preparation goes into that?
There's a little bit of that for us, but it's more done behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. There's another team. There's a marketing team, ticketing team, booking team. So they're discussing all of that with the client and working out what the client wants. And it's all about what the client wants. And they do vary. You can have a similar show, but they want different sorts of things. And the back of house team look after all the performance side of things. So they're looking after the staging, looking after the dressing rooms and everything that the performers actually need from there. So we actually come in about an hour and a half before the show. We don't know a lot about it. We can see on the website what the show is or on our roster what it is, but we don't get a lot of information prior to that unless it's something specific. If there's a specific issue with a patron coming in who has some special needs, or the performers have some special needs that we need to be look out for, we can do that. But generally we'll just pick up the run sheet and go, here we go, and it's all laid out for us. So it's executing the same plan, but being ready to adapt and dive into different things whenever the need arises. And in live theatre, that can happen all the time.
I'm sure it does. Yeah. Can you take us then to a typical sort of show day? You mentioned, John, an hour and a half before the show. Yep. So it's all hands on deck. What does that typically look like for your team?
It's about setting up scenes. And Lou talked about, the ushers being the front people there. It's getting them in the right mood as well. And they're pretty easy to get in the right mood, but it's all about welcoming people in. So we want to get them in. We'll have a debrief with our briefing with the staff beforehand and go through all the things that we are expecting, because we need to know, the ushers need to know what's going to happen on stage. So if there's going to be a confetti cannon into the audience, or we had snow the other day with a show. And
what was the show?
It was The Wizard of Oz. So they had snow actually falling down on the patrons. So we need to know that's going to happen.
Yes.
But we also need to know if an artist is going to come off stage or they're going to enter through the auditorium, all those sorts of things. So we need to give them those sorts of briefings. We need to know where there's spare seats. If you've got a relatively full house and people need to move for whatever reason, there could be a mobility issue and things like that we need to prepare for. So we need to go through all of that with them as well. Just give them the timings of the shows and just what to look out for. Because again, each hirer has a different need. Some are very happy for us to take photos and videos and things, others not. It could be copyright issues and things there. So we need to brief the team on what they need to do in those circumstances as well. So it's about working together. And then when we open the doors, it's about really greeting the people as they come in. The experience happens when they first walk in the door.
Absolutely.
And then, we set the scene from there.
Okay, so the guests start coming through the door who are going to be watching the show. You've greeted them at the front door. What's the next movements?
We are pretty fortunate to be set up really well by our team leaders. So that run sheet, as John alluded to, basically sets our day. So from the moment people come in, the ushers, once the briefing is complete, the ushers are there at the forefront and identifying people where needs are required, or potentially just having that chat. And a lot of the community who do come here, we automatically think they are locals, but sometimes we'll get people, ironically, from Bacchus Marsh, Glenroy, because they've come here to see specific shows which aren't anywhere else. So we're really fortunate. So that sense of welcoming and immediate engagement is required of the ushers and the whole team. So we're really, we have that from the word go.
Isn't that beautiful? It's setting the tone really for them to have an enjoyable experience. What are some of those small things you think that do make a big difference to someone's experience when they come to Frankston Arts Centre?
We get a variety of people and a lot of, there's a big group of loyal patrons who come here. Mm-hmm. So that sense of familiarisation with g'day of a person that we know really well is always sort of encouraged in our briefing because of that sense of loyalty to here.
Yeah. That's really nice. Can we talk a little bit about, you've had some revamping happening here, the accessibility of Frankston Arts Centre. I think that's a big one that you do really well.
Yeah, the forecourt out the front, it's all been renovated, so there's ramps where we need them. Really easy to use now. It was fun while it was being worked on, but we adapted with that. We had wheelchairs sinking every now and then, but that was okay. Everyone adapted, and the patrons adapted as well because they could see what was coming through that. So, and in the theatre itself, we've got removable chairs so people could be seated in the right places and things there. And the box office has been upgraded and there's good hospitality and things there and seating around in the foyer for people to use. So people are often at the front when we're opening the doors, ready to come in and start their experience an hour before the show starts, because they really love the place. And there's a gallery there for them to have a look at as well. So they'll often wander around and have a look at all the artworks as well. So it's a double experience.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, you said before, John, things don't always go to plan. I mean, it is live theatre. It's exciting. Any stories you can share of unexpected things happening?
Yeah, look, there's lots of things that do happen. We're on communication, so we can talk to each other all the time. But there's if it's a full house, there's 800 people, there's 800 lives going on. So people have things that go on. So occasionally you have someone rush out of the theatre because they've just seen a text message that there's a disaster at home or things like that. People get sick. We have to help with people. We've had an ambulance here a few times for people who have collapsed and different things from there. So we've got to be ready for all that sort of stuff. And then unfortunately sometimes on stage things can go wrong as well. There was a show only a few weeks ago where one of the microphones broke down and they had to basically stop the show. This poor guy was trying to dance with the microphone and an axe in his hand as well.
He did well.
He did really well, but they just had to stop the show. And that happens in every theatre. There'll be technical issues and things that can stop a performance. It's pretty rare, but you've got to be ready for that sort of stuff as well. But there can just be anything that can happen. Parents will come in and in a school show, I need to get little Johnny out the back because something's happened at home. So you've got to organise those things. I even had a lost child for about an hour. There was a big family group that came in and they went and sat in their seats and they forgot one in the foyer. So we looked after her for a while and she wouldn't speak, she wouldn't do anything. So we just looked after her and just sort of paraded her around at interval and someone said, there you are. So I went, yep, there you go. So
that was a good day at work for you then, John,
exactly,
rescuing a child.
Yeah, exactly.
Troubleshooting would have to be a major part of our role.
Thinking on your feet.
Yeah. Constantly.
So it's, talking about then the front of house staff, is that one of the core things that makes great front of house staff, that flexibility and using their intuition a bit more?
Exactly.
Initiative?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We don't encourage chatter on the comms. So when someone talks, there's something to be said, and it could be a minor thing, but it could be something we've really got to relay to everybody. And the same with the back of house. If something's going on back there, they keep in touch with us all the time. They'll let us know when intervals coming along, which might sound bizarre, but we need to let the hospitality team know to get ready. So they might need to cook something pretty quickly and have it ready so it's fresh. All those sorts of things are going on all the time. So we're monitoring everything and trying to keep to the timings of the show as well, because people expect that. They come in, they say the show starts at 8, it's going to finish at 10. You don't want to finish at 10:30.
Yeah.
You've got to make sure that's right. And we have an iPad we'll walk around with as well that, when it's time for the show to start or an interval, we'll ring bells and, let people know to go in. And particularly at the start of the show too, I like to hover around out the front, make sure people are going to the right doors, because if they all head for one door, it can be a bit of a nightmare.
Yes.
And a lot of people, as Lou said, are new to the venue. So they're looking at a ticket, looking around, and you just help them. Just go up and say, hey, your door's over here, off you go, and they're very grateful, And latecomers, we have to deal with a lot of latecomers who are running in the door, and that can be fun, trying to get them in the theatre and in through the right doors at the time. So,
how many of you are on comms at any given time?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh,
It's a maximum of 6 ushers, plus
Yeah.
ourselves, plus hospitality. And
Plus
then as the
back of house.
supervisor, we communicate only with the back of house, and they can have, with all the crew that are in a show, like a musical could have 20 crew as well. So there's all that communication
You just
going
don't
on.
realise, you come and
Yeah.
see these shows, how
Yeah.
much is happening to make it run
Yep.
and get everything happening on time. And you guys being able to, even read a patron's face, like you're saying, John,
Yeah.
like you're at the wrong door or you're not sure where to go. It's such an integral part of how these shows run.
Exactly.
What do you love most about your role?
I think it's that. I like being in the action of things, not for things to go wrong, but just to be ready to solve things and be involved in that. And just the chatter between everyone, it's just good to be, you feel part of the whole performance, not just the front of house and not just the back of house. And we can help with the performance side of things from time to time as well, the communication backwards and forwards. Like there could be, something going on stage. We want to make sure that the back of house is seen. Like there might be in a calisthenics competition, a little bit of uniform is dropped on the floor. It could be dangerous. Right. We had a rogue light one night that was pointing right in the patrons' faces. It was a radio back. You might need to fix that light. Yeah. So those sorts of things can happen because there's lighting guys upstairs. There's sound guys at the back of the stalls areas there as well. So everyone's talking and just making sure everything's going well.
Love the excitement.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
And the diversity.
Yeah.
Like we can go from Shrek the Musical one week and the next week we might have the church. So the diversity of the client is exceptional. And similar to what John was saying, the communication-wise, I remember a particular event where back of house said to me, Louise, just clarify me, is that a live snake on stage? So at this time I was in the foyer and I'm thinking, what? And yes, it was. So that sense of communication and everyone is basically trying to achieve the same outcome, which is a seamless client and customer experience or customer and client experience.
That is just amazing. So how do you feel when finally the door shuts and the show starts? Are you like, we've done our job, it's go time?
Exactly. And you want to see that it's gone to time, and sometimes it doesn't always happen that way. There might be literally a bus arrive out the front and there'll be a big group of people coming in. So you've got to let back of house know, because you don't want performers standing in the wings ready to go if they are 5 minutes away. They need to be given that time. I've got a performance background as well, so I know from that side of it, you don't want to be standing there. 5 minutes feels like 5 hours.
Yes.
So you want to be ready to go when you're ready to go. So it's that communication. No, there's a problem, or no, we're going to go on time, and off we go. So there's those sorts of things that are fun as well.
You're far more empathetic than me, John. I have a minus, like a minus 35, a minus 45, and but you're right, you don't want anyone to wait. But in saying that schedule, like you alluded to before, has to run to plan for the client's benefit, the patron's benefit, and the whole team. The whole team.
Will you hold something up if things are looking behind?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll let them know, look, we might need an extra couple of minutes to get everybody in. And sometimes at interval, sometimes people want to hover around the bar at interval, so we'll give them all the warnings and things and go, bad luck people, we're going to start the show.
Get the bell ringing.
So that's their choice in that respect from there. But yeah, if you've got one person coming in the door, and you will still start the show. But if you've got 4 or 5 or 10 in the foyer still struggling to find out, or there's a ticketing issue and they're at the box office getting their tickets reprinted, you'll hold for them. And it relieves them, because I'll just say to them, we're holding the door for you. And they go, oh, thank you. Or there's times when ballet concerts and things, oh, my granddaughter's in the first act and they're just arriving, and so we can say, yeah, I can just hold for a minute, we're just going to get this person in, or we'll take them in and stand them at the door so they can see and then pop them in their seat. Yeah.
Oh, well, John and Louise, you do such an amazing job here at Frankston Arts Centre, and it is such an important role. Front of house is, it's what we open the doors and that's what we see, that warmth, and you absolutely contribute and hold up the seamless experience for everyone. So thank you so much for having a chat with me.
Thanks, Sophie.
Thank you.